Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 114. When we last left our heroes, we arrived on Foresta, and discovered that thanks to some hacking by Ziggy, bots have risen up and enslaved humans. Specifically, treating them like dogs, which feels a little bit too in line with Mashima's newfound BDSM tendencies for my taste, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, they met up with Couchpo, who is on Foresta. She was like filming a restaurant review before she got caught up in this rebellion. And then they were attacked by a giant robot that I'm pretty sure was the same robot they had met earlier and had tried to capture them. But anyway, let's jump right on into Chapter 114, Glue. And our picture here is Wise, in like a hoodie with a bunch of like keep out signs around him. I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, we open right where we left off, with Shiki holding up the robot's fist with his gravity ether gear. And Shiki glares at the robot, and the robot looks surprised. And Shiki, I think, has thrown the bot. And it lands on the ground. Shiki's kind of off balance by the throw too, though. And Couchpo kind of is thrown back. Aye! And Pino calls out, "Master, I'm detecting a large group of robots. We're surrounded." And we see robots, approaching the building. Not seemingly surrounded, though. They don't seem to be on all sides, but maybe the forest behind them is too thick that they wouldn't be able to get through. I don't know. Anyway, Shiki gets ready to fight. "We'll fight past him." Indeed. Rebecca calls down to Happy. "Happy!" And Happy goes to transform into his gun form. "Aye, sir." And Wise also readies a gun. So much for relic hunting. And we see the bots have all come with their own guns, and also frying pans and meat cleavers to fight our heroes. And we see the whole group, including Couchpo, and they're like battle-ready stances. Let's go. I'm not entirely sure what power Couchpo has, but anyway, the robots, start their offensive on Shiki and the gang, and Shiki runs at them. Rah! Yeah! And he, jumps over them and slams the gravity on, and they all come crashing down. Or a bunch of them do. Rebecca starts shooting. Now! And Homura also starts slicing her way through. "We shall cut a path. No hard feelings." And Wise also starts shooting at them. And Couchpo shouts, "I can fight too. I'm not in the food review business for nothing. For the sake of delicious food, I will face any danger." And she starts biting on one of the robot's heads. And Pino just looks at her. That is not food. Alright. Way to go, Couchpo. Meanwhile, back on the Eden Zero, where I guess the Starshines just don't know what's going on right now. We see Sister is, I guess, doing some kind of routine medical checkup on Kleene. That should do it. Now get dressed. And Sister looks at her clipboard-looking thing. And as Kleene buttons up her shirt, "You don't have to fix me." "Huh? If I get better, I'll have to leave. But the people here, I like them. If I said goodbye, I'd miss them." Okay, if there was ever any doubt that Kleene and Chris would become permanent crew members, this panel right here should clear it up. And Sister puts her readout or whatever down. "You don't have to leave. If you want to stay, then stay. But my brother..." Right, the hardhead. And either this is Sister thinking about what Chris told her, or this is Sister's own thoughts. Kleene has a unique disorder. Oh no, this is a flashback. If she shows any emotion, it will cause a mental breakdown. So that's why she wears that emotion-suppressing device. Still, I've never seen symptoms like this before. There was something that caused this, wasn't there? And Chris is silent for a moment, just kind of glares at Sister. And Sister tells him, "If you don't want to tell me, I'll just ask Kleene." And that shocks Chris enough to where he grabs Sister by the collar. "The one thing I will never let you do is ask Kleene what happened in the past." And Sister just glares right back. "You little. Is that any way to talk to your physician? Is it?" And Chris just turns away. If Kleene ever remembers her past, not even that device will be able to contain her feelings. Please, whatever you do, don't ask her. Then just tell her tell sister yourself, Chris. This isn't that hard. And then we cut back to the present as sister is just thinking on that conversation. And just then the emergency alarm starts running. Maybe this is them finding out. Either this is them finding out what's going on with Shiki and the gang, or they're under attack by the robots. Not sure which yet. Emergency. Emergency. We see Sister and Kleene and Chris and Laguna all react to that. This is Witch coming through the line. Several attack drones are currently approaching the Eden Zero from the airspace above Foresta. I've been monitoring Shiki and the gang. They're being attacked by bots too. All hands to battle stations. Oh, but none of our battle crew is on board. Oh, fuck. I guess that means that the ex-Draken gang has to step in. Laguna responds, I'm on the boat. I might as well fight for it. And Chris also responds, it would not be in my best interest to let this ship go down either. And Kleene just raises her hand. I will fight too. And Sister looks at her. Kleene. And Witch asks, you would? And Moscow, we're all friends now, Moscow. How was that, Hermit? I was throwing down my Shiki impression. Moscow, you angel. And Hermit just looks away. Yeah, you're annoying. Go away. And then we see all the drones coming in to attack the Eden Zero. And Hermit tells the crew, I count 116, and there are more approaching from behind. The enemy drones are too small for the ship's cannons. I've unlocked the hangar. Please board a starfighter to launch the attack. Laguna responds, you got it. And then we cut back to the surface, back with the crew, who have escaped their robot adversaries. We're almost at the Aqua Wing. Hurry! And just then, Shiki sees a small bird-like thing? I don't know, it's just in silhouette in this panel, but it gives me a kind of, like, cartoon bird vibe. No, it's just a really small robot. And Wise looks at it. Fresh troops? Wait. And Shiki holds back Rebecca as the robot trips. Help us. And Pino runs towards it, and the robot gets up and flaps his little wing-looking things. We don't want to fight. The gang just looks at it. And Shiki, starts cheering. This bot's not our enemy. And Rebecca asks it, Are you okay? They all started acting weird. But there are lots of robots who are just fine. And Pino cheers. That's good to hear. We didn't do anything, but so many of us killed... I'm sorry, wait, we didn't kill anybody. We were attacked. We had no choice. Oh wait, no. This is those two lines were Shiki and Homura. For some reason, I thought they were also the robot. But the robot responds, "I'm not talking about you. Other people who came from off-world." And that gets Rebecca's attention. Emperor Nero's forces said they would wipe out all the machines on the planet. Okay, so trying to figure out. I have something on my mind, but I can't quite verbalize it right now. Let's just continue. Homer takes that news in, but that's not fair. They're not attacking people because they want to, and some of the robots are still themselves. So it looks like Nero's attack was a response to what Ziggy did. Which might mean that Nero is kind of on our side right now. I mean, not really, because he's trying to kill all robots, and that's not the crew's style. Also, I just want to say, the crew needs a title beyond just the crew. I'm always trying to find something to call them, and it just, I don't know, they need a name. Anyway. So yeah, it doesn't, Nero maybe could be persuaded if Shiki and the gang can, prove that it's worth it to side with, or to try to protect the robots and not just kill them all, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, and Shiki just kind of angrily, this is all Grandpa's fault. And the robot kind of, jumps up and down. Help us! I don't want to die. And Shiki comforts him. We will. You're gonna be okay. Thank you. Thank you. And Shiki just gives that, like, pure, happy grin. And just then, because we can't be happy for too long, I guess, the robot gets shot, broken, destroyed, instantly. Everyone watches in, like, shock as it falls to the ground. And there's the top hat guy from Nero's forces, whose name I've forgotten. Shaha! Bullseye! And then he, like, walks up to them. Hey, you lot okay? That deserves a thank you, don't it? And Shiki snaps at him. How could you do that? Oh, you one of them folks who don't know how to say thank you, eh? You can't be serious. Can you really not say it? And Shiki runs up at him. You should be saying, I'm sorry. And Top Hat points his cane at Shiki. And it's clearly some kind of ether gear. This water-looking thing appears on it. And then the water catches Shiki, it looks like. And it, like, throws him at a tree and binds him. Like glue, like the chapter title. Shiki! What's that stuff? And Pino, like, I guess kind of does a quick readout on it, maybe? An adhesive. And he just spins his cane again. And ties up, binds up Homura, Couchpo, and Rebecca. And Wise, it looks like. But he doesn't get a full shot. Ugh. Gross. What is this? And Shiki tries to pull himself out of it. I can't move. I'm stuck. And the man just grins. All right, let's hear it. This is where you say thank you, innit? And that's where the chapter ends. The man's name, I'm going to go back to 112 when he was introduced, real fast, is... Give it a minute to load. Anyway, while it loads, let's talk about the chapter itself. So, first let's talk about the drones. Because my first thought is that the drones came from the planet. But a part of me thinks it might be more of Nero's forces. Mora. Mora is the man's name. He reminds me of, I think, the rival in... I haven't played Sword and Shield yet, but the Isle of Armor rival in Shield, the top hat wearing guy, he reminds me of him. But Mora. So anyway, my first thought was that the drones came from the robot. So they figured out that, like, the Shiki and the gang came from this ship, and so they were going to attack this ship like they attacked Shiki and the gang. But given the reveal that it was admittedly kind of an obvious reveal, but it still is that Nero had attacked the planet, had already been attacking the planet. My new thought is that is Nero's forces. Sorry, I don't know why all my thoughts are escaping me right now. So we'll see what comes of that, of Laguna and Chris and Kleene taking a more active role in the crew. That does kind of imply they might be more permanent members, especially the Rutherford siblings, now that Kleene has directly stated that she wants to stay, like, long term. Which is kind of weird, because Kleene hasn't really interacted. Like, I think she interacted with the crew a little bit on Red Cave, but most of her scenes have been with Chris and Laguna. I don't know. I mean, there's probably some off-screen bonding that we haven't seen. And if Kleene stays, then Chris will stay, even if he doesn't really want to. The big question is, will Laguna stay? Because ever since, I've been saying since Belial Gore, after that arc went to such lengths to kind of make Laguna a more sympathetic character, that it looked like Laguna might be, at the very least, a recurring character. Which I'm clearly right, because he's still here. Maybe he might even be a crew member. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I think it's certainly possible. We also get a little bit more info on, or not really info, but more hinting at whatever exactly happened to Kleene. That it's something so horrible that it will break past her memory, her emotion suppressing device, and then, give her a mental breakdown. So yeah, that's really all we see on the ship. Now let's talk about our angst device, the little bird guy, who's just there to be cute for a few pages, and then immediately die. Because he's a robot, maybe he'll somehow survive. But he's really just a plot device for angst. Like, it really just feels like kicking the dog here. You know, he has that happy thank you, and Shiki grins, and then he immediately dies. That's just a little much. Like, it works it works, generally speaking, but it does just feel, you know, and Eden Zero loves to be, you know, about as brutal as it possibly could be, and this is just kind of a very on-the-nose example of that, in my opinion. It's not bad, but it's far from great. Like, I'd say it's better than Hermit's backstory, which I just found. You can go back and look at my Hermit's backstory thoughts. They weren't terribly positive. But it's far from a Mashima highlight. Let's say that. He's just there to feel sad over. Though he does also set up that not all bots have been taken over by this virus that Ziggy put together. And again, I'm still not a big fan of the virus storyline. So maybe the bots who were infected are those who were already kind of chafing against human rule. Especially because we saw last chapter, one of the two bots we saw the conversation of talked about how humans were more than happy to break robots back when they were in control. So maybe that was a robot who had already harbored hatred towards humanity, and that was how Ziggy was able to take control. Maybe that would be an interesting thing interesting way to take the story. But then we meet Mora, who, like, it almost looks like his soul power is the glue, but it doesn't look like he's using, like, that looks like a laser beam that he kills the cute little bot with. So maybe he just doesn't want to kill any humans right now, and so he just kind of binds them until they thank him. Maybe he's about to try to kill Pino and Happy. Who knows? Either way, the gang is fully in Mora's clutches. And we'll have to see what comes of that next time. So that's all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!